waste beads, and Kimberly and Company, featuring natural stones, crystals, unique and vintage beads. You're sure to find a gift even for the person who has everything. Purchase necklaces, bracelets, and waist beads individually, or purchase a set for a better value.
Stand by 10 seconds.
And contactless delivery is available. Visit us on Facebook at Kimberly
Stand by
for more
5 seconds.
information or to make a purchase. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio to get a 15% discount or free shipping.
October 17th, sippers and spillers. How y'all doing?
Doing good.
Awesome. So we have here the Black Coffee with a Side of Tea show. We have Sister Poet Goddess Fee today with us. How you doing, sis?
I'm doing excellent.
Awesome. And of course, the number one stunner herself, Miss Lisa Danae.
I'm sitting in for Miss Mimi and for Lisa the Boss Lady.
Because you lie like that, you can cover 2 seats.
Okay. In more ways than one.
Well, I missed you guys. I'm so excited to be spending time with you. So, of course, we got to check in with my sisters. How y'all been doing this week?
This week it's been a little dramatic.
Okay.
I went to a press conference with Congressman Al Green this week,
Okay.
Which I'm going to talk a little bit more about in the hot tea.
Okay.
But it was very draining. But
Okay.
Overall, good.
Okay. Have you ever been able to get some life-giving moments through the day? Or
Yes.
through the week? Okay,
Yes.
good. Okay.
Last night.
Because you still got that smile. She said last night. Well, I'm going to let you, we're going to talk about that off mic. Okay.
Oh my!
But you got that smile, which I am so glad to see because I know it was a rough week.
It was a girls' night last week. Tuna.
She got it too. Lisa.
Sister got a tuna.
Are you speaking for yourself?
No, I'm speaking. I was there last night. I went to a girls' night.
I was like, y'all was just chilling.
It was for men.
Oh.
Okay.
But what about blue and I'm gonna ask you later. I'm gonna ask you later.
There's nothing wrong with a tuna.
Tune in, Lisa.
My week was amazing, phenomenal, wonderful,
Yes.
fabulous.
Give them all.
I am so happy that my Los Angeles Lakers
I knew it.
proved everything and shocked the world with our 17th championship win. And by the time we get to 20, let me tell you something.
What you
When
gonna
we get
do?
to 20, I'm gonna be in that thing.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
gonna be in that thing.
Speak it. I'm gonna be with you.
Represent with my purple and gold.
Yes.
And I do not care
Yes.
if I'm by myself.
Yourself.
I'm gonna be in that thing.
Come on, Lisa.
Come on now. I
So-
had a great week.
I'll say you've made me a fan. Like for real.
That's
Like
what's up.
I was up there yelling, like, I don't know none of these people. What's the light skinned dude that was with LeBron? They were
AD.
holding AD. Who is that?
Yeah.
What does AD stand for? I don't know.
Adrian Davis.
Adrian Davis.
Anthony
Anthony Davis. Okay. I was sitting there, I was like, Lisa watching this. I know she
Yes.
is. And saw that picture, I was like, I think I'm
I actually wasn't watching it. I was on a
At
date.
all?
I mean,
Oh.
I was already invested. I knew we were going to take it on.
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
But I had an opportunity to go out with a handsome friend,
Oh,
and I went ahead and took that opportunity.
Lisa.
I went ahead and took that opportunity. So I was on a date, but as I was on the date, I kept checking my phone
yes, to see what it was.
see what it
To
was.
see. So can we do a bachelorette with you? Can
A
we?
bachelorette?
Yes, you know the show The Bachelorette where they get these men and they try to date them,
Maybe
or the
y'all
men
should
are
do
trying
it with
to.
somebody else.
No, I want to do it with you.
It would be fun with you.
Lisa.
Lord.
We're gonna talk about it. I'm serious.
Yeah, let's talk about
I'm
that.
serious.
Because I think the key and the goal of the Bachelorette is to eventually marry someone.
We can change it to
on
whatever
that
we want.
type
No,
of
no,
time.
no.
I ain't on that type of time. That ship has
Sailed. So you done?
Yeah, I'm living a single life and I'm loving it.
Okay, Lisa. Okay, sis. But we're gonna talk because I think that'll work.
Yeah, let's
I think that'll be
Let's
fun
do
for
a little
2021.
research, especially if we get
For
some
the love of Lisa.
sponsors. Especially if we get some sponsors. Let's do it.
Let's go. Well, that's something to look out for. Lisa Danae, we're gonna get her a love for the love of Lisa. You said?
Yeah.
We're gonna rock that next year, 2021.
All right.
So today I wanted to talk about a little bit of tea that had been out there since the summer. But there's been some recent developments with it, right? So Megan Thee Stallion wrote an op-ed for the New York Times this week that was released on October 13th. The name of it was Megan Thee Stallion, Why I Speak Up for Black Women. The article was released on the same day that Tory Lanez was arraigned on charges of shooting Megan Thee Stallion during an argument in July. According to CBSNews.com, The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office announced Thursday that Lanes, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, was charged with felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, personal use of a firearm, and carrying an unregistered firearm in a vehicle.
Wow.
The incident occurred on July 12th when Lanes and Megan got into an argument while riding in an SUV in the Hollywood Hills, according to the criminal complaint. Prosecutors said Lanes caused great bodily injury to the rapper. Again, that's according to CBSNews.com. In Megan's article, though, she states, Black women are constantly disrespected and disregarded in so many areas of life. She noted that this is the case despite our being the most sought after voting bloc for the Democratic Party. Megan revealed that she was the victim of an act of violence perpetrated by a man earlier this year. And she explained why she was initially silent about the issue. Quote, my initial silence about what happened was out of fear for myself and my friends. Even as a victim, I have been met with skepticism and judgment. The way people have publicly questioned and debated whether I played a role in my own violent assault proves my fears about discussing about discussing what happened were unfortunately warranted. So what she's saying is that because of the way that people continue to accuse her, that justified the fear that she had and why she decided to stay silent initially. In this conversation, though, I want us to talk about, because we know that this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and intimate partner violence is a part of that. I wanted to discuss this because abuse can happen between associates as well as people that you're in a relationship with. And so many times Black women remain silent out of fear. And since this stuff all came out about this summer, people have had a whole lot to say, and I wanted to bring this to the cafe and find out how the sippers and spillers are feeling about it. So are you all aware of this story?
I'm aware of it, but let's take a real quick break and we'll get back with the hot.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
With the tea of the day.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Are you tired of bad hair days? Dry, damp hair, and lackluster curls? We know the struggle is real.
We have two ads.
Yes.
Come back to your hair and take you from struggle to shine. Offering organic, cruelty-free hair care options, we focus on giving you salon quality with multi-use products to save time, money, and shelf space. Visit our website today at www.earthsnectar.com for thicker, stronger, healthier hair. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio at personality, charisma, and style. A true star ready to shine at your next event. Retriever the Need, radio personality, and event host will make your event the place to be to provide lasting memories for your audience. If you want to take your event to the next level, book Retriever the Need to be your host, MC, moderator, or red carpet interviewer and host. Contact her at Retriever the Need on Facebook and Instagram for booking information and pricing. And make sure to mention Stunner Radio sent you.
Welcome back to Black Coffee with a Side of Tea. And we just introduced our tea of the day conversation about why Black women feel unprotected and what's that need around protecting Black women. So I wanted to find out if you all were aware of this situation or this case.
Yeah, I was definitely aware of the case. I was just waiting for them to charge him because once it got released that he was the person involved, I was kind of wondering why he hadn't been charged before now.
Yeah.
And I do understand that she felt afraid to tell what happened because I get that. I think she's right. The victim is always blamed first.
Right.
Yeah. Anytime a person finds out that you've been victimized in any way, they always ask, what did you do?
Right.
Or why did you go there? Why did you, why were you with this person? Why did you go out? It's always something coming back on you.
Yeah, that you have to justify.
Yeah, so I can see why she didn't want to tell because I don't think anybody really knew they were together. Like, I didn't either.
But she said they weren't.
But he said they were.
So that's another reason why we need to figure out what's going on.
I mean, I think it's those things where you dealing with somebody and you ain't necessarily together. You know what I'm saying?
No confirmation to it.
Yeah, and we're not putting no titles on it yet and that kind of stuff.
Right. Because she said in the op-ed, like, we were not in a relationship. And so I was like, for her to strongly say that, I wonder why. And I wondered if it was to counter the accusation. But if they were, then why deny it?
Well, I think you know how that goes. Some person, one person may think that you're in a relationship. The person may think you just, getting
hanging out, right?
Hanging
tuning
out.
up.
Yeah, tuning exactly. Maintenance. Regularly scheduled.
Faye, what did you know, or what did you think about when you heard it at first?
So when I first heard it, I was like, why would he do this?
Yeah.
But now that the story is unfolding, I feel even more closer to this than ever before, because when we are victimized, people overlook it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't think about how we feel on the inside, mm-hmm. and how we are being mistreated, mm-hmm. Including the guy. And I could, for him personally, for him to actually keep on saying that there was in a relationship, because obviously in his mind he was like, oh yeah, we're in a relationship. I can just imagine what he was probably thinking when he did this, which is probably just not cool at all, because the fact that she is as powerful as she is. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I really can't put it in words.
Well, I think I like what she said about Black women being protected, but right. And I know that she said it that way because she's a Black woman. Mm-hmm. But I just want to say all women, because. Mm-hmm. And normally I don't do that. Normally right. I say I'm speaking for my people. Right. But in this case, because women are so often objectified, mm-hmm. we find it hard to be protected. Right. Because I don't think a lot of people see us as anything other than an object.
That's valid.
It's either a sexual object or
a position.
A service object, mm-hmm. A trophy, mm-hmm. somebody to take care of your kids or clean the house or cook food, but not necessarily a human being. Right. And that's the problem. Right. And I think that it's even worse for a celebrity, because even when people in your life know you, right, they still see you as something other than human. Right. I mean, that happens even with us on whatever level we on. Mm-hmm. People start to see you as if you're not human because you're doing whatever you do. Right. And that's a problem. And I think that I'm really happy that she wrote this.
Me too.
Because I think that people need to start seeing her as a human being. Right. Regardless of how much twerking she do, regardless how much she show her body, she's still a human being.
And the things that I appreciated, there was also, if you check out the link in the article, she also did a video, like a quick, just kind of PSA, I guess you would. And her points were that it should not matter if a woman is, not even if it should not. What you're starting to see is that as women begin to take control over how they are viewed and not allowing them enjoying their sexuality to allow them to be sexualized and abused because of that, and they're speaking out, you see that there's more backlash when women are owning that part of their presentation. And she was saying that it should not be a situation where women are only thought of as valuable when it comes to how they benefit men. And then she even went through the article to talk about different areas. She talked about the dangers that Black women face in terms of childbearing, in terms of being pregnant, in terms of medical care. And so I love that she didn't just focus on her place or the impact of it on her as an industry, like as a celebrity and as a rapper, a performer, but she went into other areas of where in society Black women are oppressed and ignored and not protected. And so what have you heard others saying? Like, what are you all hearing that people, because I know that this is, personal to us as Black women, but what do you hear that other people are saying?
Well, this probably just explains the reason why she has been voted for most influential rappers in America right now. Okay. By Billboard 100, because she stands up so much for what she goes through personally. Like, she has her life itself, she has overcome so much. Right. So for her to be the one to go through something like this, it just proves just how much stronger she actually is. Agreed. Being raised up in Sunnyside, and by her grandparents. Right. She graduated from college. Like, it's not many rappers today that young that's graduated from college and actually has a degree. Right. And it's like, I'm not your typical rapper. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, I do all of this because it's fun. Right. I can dance and do all that stuff, but my career. Right. This is my life. Right. Right. So people have to get to a point where they understand who she is and stop judging her, because there's a lot of people that still is like, oh well, she's just a rapper, or she just this, or she just that. It's like, no, she's not just a rapper. She's a lot more than just that. She is powerful. But if you never get the time to know her background, you will never understand the person that she is today.
I agree with that, but I do also have a little bit of a different take on it. When you talk about women owning their sexuality, I think there's a thin line there. Okay. Because when you own your sexuality, are you doing this because you're owning it, or are you doing it because it's a bag attached to it? See, that's my problem. It's paper attached to it. Of course. You're getting paid to show your behind. You're getting paid to twerk. That's my problem with it. So you don't really own it. They own you. That is my problem with it. And so then you can't feel like you want to feel some type of way when you're categorized, but you put yourself out there like that. My other issue is that, yes, this is a great article, but she wrote it for the New York Times. How many of her demographic is reading the New York Times? That's my issue with it. You go on Facebook Live to twerk, you go on Instagram Live to twerk. Why couldn't you go on Instagram Live for this? Why can you go on Instagram Live to talk about the disparages in healthcare for Black women and all the other things that you talk about in this article? Because that's where your audience is. Your audience is not in the New York Times. So that's the only issue that I have with it. I feel like there's a disconnect. I feel like, are you really trying to talk to us? Or are you trying to talk at us? Because if you're talking at us, I see this as talking at us.
What do you mean by that?
Because I feel like the article was put out there to address certain things, to talk at the issue. But when you want to talk to us, you go directly to Instagram Live. And you spend a lot of time on there. That's you know. And my thing is, if you spend so much time on there, and if you follow her, you know how much time you spend on there. And it's a whole lot twerking, a whole lot of dancing, a whole lot doing this in front of the camera, just styling. Open your mouth and talk about this on Instagram.
So she never mentioned any of this.
I'm not saying she never did. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
But I'm saying,
and that's a great
when you
point.
Read the article, and I haven't read it. But just your summary of it is shocking that this came from her. Because you're thinking, what? Okay, she talking like that? We need to see this. And your audience need to see this.
I agree.
Because outside of what you said about her being influential.
I love that.
I don't think they're hailing her as influential because of this. Or because of what she went through. I think she is seen as influential because she has a lot of followers and because people want to live that lifestyle of the hot girl summer and the savage. That's what she's influencing. And now I want to see more of this influence. I want to see more of this.
I love that point, Lisa. I hadn't even thought about it because I was thinking of it in the reverse, in that I'm glad she got an avenue with the New York Times, because those who listen to her would not normally be at that publication. But because she's written something and it's somebody that's accessible to them, they're going to read it. They're going to go to this place where they've never possibly even known that there was stuff that they would be interested in. And so I thought of it from the standpoint of good deal. And you didn't hear her, you don't hear this voice. You don't hear the op-ed voice in the public space. And so I was just like, oh, okay, this is fantastic. I love your point. And I appreciate that it's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, you could have said, hey, I'm about to do something in the New York Times. It's about to be about this. I want y'all to tell me what you think. Introduce it to your people first so that it's matching up with the energy and what you normally, where you spend your time marketing yourself normally.
And this is the problem I've always had with artists like this. I've had the problem with, because I feel like they are not unbought. They are bought.
Agreed.
And my problem with it is, if you think she haven't had these type of stresses and pressures on her whole life, you're mistaken. She has, clearly, like what Poet Goddess Speak said about all her upbringing. But have we heard it in the music though? No, because in the music they only want us to hear savage. They only want us to hear WAP. They only want us to hear,
the sexy stuff that's gonna
hot girl summer, all that. They do not want us to hear. But as an artist, you cannot sell your soul and then wonder why.
This is
because when you look, she a Black woman. And we all know, sitting at this table as Black women, we have so much frustration. We have so many things that we go through on a daily basis. I want to hear it in the music. I don't want to just hear, because that's when people start to see you as a human.
That's
because
good.
They see the whole sides of you. That's what I love about Tupac. But see, people understand in the industry, men are free to do that. Women, they just want to see you shake it and throw that thing in a circle. That's all they want to see. And that's unfortunate.
I'm so sorry. And see, That's what makes me love old school hip hop and old school hip hop female artists like MC Light or Queen Latifah. You don't hear a lot of them no more. And but then also they usually is found underground. You don't see them on the mainstream, and that's always been a question of mine. It's like, why don't you hear these type of artists mainstream?
Because money.
Yeah.
Because the companies want to make money, and sex definitely sells.
Agreed.
And there's so much money to be made, and a lot of it ain't necessarily going to the artist.
Right.
You see, that's the problem.
Right.
So it's almost like, a double-edged sword for them. Being an artist, you get all this stardom and fame, but what do you have to exchange for it?
So the thing that I would also ask or add is that perhaps this is, that's the way she had to get into the industry, right? Maybe that's what she felt. I have this talent. This is my lyricism. This is what's going to make my bag, right? But maybe this piece is her way of stretching her legs, because I'm not going to be able to keep selling. I'm new, right? I'm not going to be able to keep selling on some Black Power, woman empowerment platform right now. I need to keep talking about this thing that's going to keep me popular, right? But on the left-hand side of this situation, let me get over here and write. Let me get over here and say this so that I can have both of those sides of me that are out there, right? So let's go to take an ad really quickly. I'm sorry, let's take a break really quickly, and we're going to come back with Hot Tea. We're going to wrap this up and then move on to Poet Goddess Speak for Hot Tea.
All right.
Don't let social distancing have you out here looking dusty. Hit your sexy bag.
Baby, when I heard this, I hollered. Don't have the pandemic have you out here looking dusty. I rewound it like 4 times because I was dying. And I was like, I don't remember if she wrote that. I'm so sorry.
Put your best foot forward and make a lasting impression with a fresh haircut and regular beard look. Get faded today with Steph the Barber. Follow us on Instagram at Steph the Barber to look your appointment. That's STEFBDA Barber, and tell them Stoner Radio sends you.
You don't have to.
Welcome back to Black Coffee with a Side of Tea. So go out there, y'all. We want to hear from you this week, right? We didn't really get to. We started talking about the music piece and Women Week, but we want to make sure that we touch on the fact that there are in this article there were points that she made about why Black women are not protected or why they don't feel protected. And we're going to come back to this in the future, because I think that there are points that were made that outside of the music that I would love for us to explore more, because there's some historical context to that.
Yes, definitely.
And so, thank y'all for engaging, but we want to hear what y'all have to say. So make sure you go to the Black Coffee with a Side of Tea Facebook page, drop us some information or your thoughts in the chat, so that we can talk to you throughout the week. So we have our resident Poet Goddess Fee up next with her hot tea, ready to spill it, don't sip it.
Yes.
Let's go.
So this week, I mentioned this a little bit earlier. I went to a press conference this week with Congressman Al Green.
Right.
What he was talking about was basically the justice for Joshua. Those of you out there who do not know, Joshua J. Johnson was the young guy that was shot and killed on April 22nd on the southwest side of Houston by Deputy Sheriff Tutran. And yes, that's the name now. Okay. Deputy Sheriff Tutran. That morning, he was actually protecting his neighbor's home. He was doing absolutely nothing wrong. According to Tutran and Channel 13 News, is that Tutran said that Joshua walked up to his car. This is in the 6 o'clock hour, literally probably like 6 a.m., maybe 6:02. He said that Joshua walked up to his car, shined a light from his cell phone through the window. That's when the deputy rolled down his window. Now, take note that the deputy was inside of an unmarked vehicle looking for a capital murder suspect out of Dallas County. Joshua, he said that there was some words transpired between the two individuals, and that Joshua rolls a pistol after the words were transpired. That's when Deputy Sheriff Tutran actually rolls his pistol and shot fire. He shot fire 2 times. The first shot he missed, the second shot he landed. Now, with that being said, they said that Joshua stumbled back to his vehicle, where he proceeded to pass away in his vehicle. Now, what's the craziest part about this is that they said that when they pulled Joshua out of the car, what they thought was an actual gun turned out to be the replica of a gun, which was a BB gun.
Wow.
Now, with that whole situation, it rolls up a lot of red flags. Okay. A lot of red flags, which is crazy. Yeah. And all the family wanted was just answers to what happened to their son that morning. Yeah. Because they was not able to view the body that day. They had to wait a whole entire week to actually see their son. Wow. They had to see their son in a casket. Wow. That's probably the most traumatizing thing you could ever witness is to have to see your son in a casket
before you have a chance to process it. Right.
So that this past Tuesday at the press conference, Congressman Al Green had one video footage of what happened that morning, which was very vital to the case. Okay. Because it showed that the cop left the scene of the crime. Okay. While Joshua was in his car. Okay. Bleeding to death. Wow. The police officer said to his police chief, "I did not leave the scene of the crime. I stopped at the stop sign to call for help." Okay. But in the video, it shows him going to the stop sign, stopping, and turning the corner. He did not come back until 6:10. Oh, wow. He left at 6:05. He didn't come back till 6:10. And he didn't come with no aid of help. He came with another vehicle with no lights on. And they was there for about 30 minutes before they actually called for help. Wow. Now, within this process, Joshua actually died not by a bullet, not by the shots. Right. Because he was still living. Okay. He didn't die until he choked on his own blood.
So he died because of a lack of medical assistance, medical attention.
And honestly, like, the reason why, for me right now, this is like really hard because like just thinking about, just based off of what you just got to saying about the shots between the rapper and her, you know, her significant other. Right. It just is like, where's the remorse? Yeah. Where is the love? Where is the care? Exactly. Yeah. Like, if you did wrong, just say you did wrong. Right. And if you need to go get help, get help. Right. If you realize that you shot the wrong person, say that. Because that's all this family's asked for. That day, I literally saw Joshua's mother literally pass out in the middle of the street crying.
At the press conference?
Yes. And I'm like, it just makes you feel like, what is this world coming to? Yeah. Yeah. They have so much protection surrounding the police. Right. It's like, it's crazy. Right. But where's the protection for us? We're the ones who's paying for the protection. And we get nothing. So I don't know if you ladies have kind of been looking into this, but how do you guys feel about this?
I definitely was not aware of the situation until I met you, and just listening and paying attention to the press conference that I was able to catch the other day. It was very shocking to hear that, you know, they're basically, the police were like, this is it, like, this is what happened, this is how it happened, and this is what our investigation has yielded. And so it's like, for there to still be so many questions, I'm wondering what the next steps are supposed to be.
And that's been my thing too. Miss Lisa, how do you feel?
I just think it's unfortunate. I think it's sad because we have seen this so many times. It's just, you know, we didn't see it on camera. Yeah. That's the only reason why we don't know about this. Right. Yeah. Because had it been filmed like the rest of these shootings, the whole world would know. No. And we all know that there was nothing new about George Floyd. Right. It's just the fact that it was filmed. Right. And that the film got released. Right. And so it makes you so tired of this just keep happening over and over and over again. And something does have to be done. And that's why I feel like it's so important for us to get out there and vote, because there are people in power who can make changes, who can make sure that there are programs in place, these people are properly trained, and that people who do violate are removed from the force. But when you don't participate in the process, you're right, we have not done that. And then again, I think that some of this is just the systemic racism that we all know about,
sure.
and that we cannot escape. It seems like no matter how we try, we cannot escape this. When you see a black man, or if they see a black man, they automatically see him as a threat.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's something that we have to live with, and it's sad.
Yeah.
It makes you very angry. It makes you angry because you think, what can we do?
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do.
Your points to, the voting and the power of making change through the vote are extremely valid. And I appreciate that this situation would, because what you said, Fee, was if you made a mistake, you made a mistake. If you didn't realize that this person was, a community member who was trying to protect the home, you thought they had a gun, just own the fact that it was like, I really was in this situation. I was literally afraid. It was dark, whatever the case may be. But to be able to know that the system that we have in place also holds them accountable as well as it protects them, because there are some necessary protections for people who are serving the community.
Yeah.
And so those are recognized. But with regard to what Lisa said, the ways that we can change how accountability works is through that process. And we often get caught up in just the voting, the years of the times when it's time to vote, but we have to participate in the whole process, meaning we have to participate in the legislative piece as well. So, hey, we see that this is an issue. What is the legislation that we're going to put forth with the state Senate about how accountability needs to look from the standpoint of citizens?
And we need to pay attention to these people that are in power and how they are handling these type of issues.
Yeah.
How they're handling it.
Yeah.
If they're turning a blind eye to it, and if they're acting like, well, it just, that's old news, then we need to replace them. They need to not be in power.
Period.
Because Kim Orr, she's an attorney.
OGG.
Yeah. She, we given her all the documents regarding this case, but she's pushing it off until after the election. And I'm like, what? If this was your child.
Wow.
Well, is she up for re-election?
Yes.
Well, then, it's not so much. She's trying to figure out if she's going to have a job.
Right.
So if she doesn't get reelected, if
Okay.
she doesn't get reelected, what can she do?
Right.
I mean, and I think that goes back to something I talked about with the whole Ice Cube situation. He was mad because the Democratic Party said, wait till after the election, then we'll sit down with you.
Right.
Because what people understand, they can't do nothing if they don't get elected.
That's so real.
I mean, if they don't get elected, she don't have a job, what's she gonna do?
That's real.
Because once she replaced, all her people replaced too.
Right.
The new administration bringing their own people.
Right.
So sometimes you get to stay behind, but most of the time, the new administration bringing their own people. So it's not much she can do until after the election.
But my thing is, if you did something right now, honestly, that would help you, if anything.
We don't know that though, because, the numbers have shown otherwise. I mean, and then you don't want her to necessarily use this to get elected.
Sure.
Gotcha. Because, I wouldn't want her campaigning on my son's death.
Yeah.
Now, I have a problem with that. I would like
to
to keep those things separate. You campaign, you see if you get back in, then let's revisit this situation. Right. But it's painful, so I know it's kind of hard to see that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Because it's painful. It's painful that his mother had to go through this. You have to go through it as his friend.
Yeah.
And I think that we all just fed up and we tired. And at this point, we're traumatized.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for that, Hot Tea. We are definitely keeping you all lifted up. We want to keep, aware. So if you have updates, please keep us aware. If there's ways that we can support, just let us know, because Stunner wants to make sure that we support who needs support.
Right.
All right. So we're gonna be back in a second. We'll come back with We See You Sis.
Hey, it's your girl Lisa Dene, and I'm going to tell you about my book of the month, Dating in the Age of Narcissism, A Woman's Survival Guide by Kimberly Michelle.
You want to leave us then after this one?
Experience the ups and
You want to leave us then commercial after this one?
They have gotten a bit discouraged. Don't give up. Kimberly Michelle is a new go-to girlfriend for dating.
It's after.
Purchase your copy.
You mean after the one that's playing now? Oh, he's saying, do you want him to play?
On Amazon, or visit her Facebook page, Dating in the Age of
because it's supposed to be up
Narcissism.
there.
Be sure to leave a review and tell her Center Radio sent you. Attention all divas, fashionistas, and ladies of style and sophistication.
I am
We See
trying not to
Today's
spend my
Diva
whole
Den
check
is
on
now open for your online shopping pleasure. We offer custom designs created exclusively for the Diva Den, including our Queen collection, specifically designed with you in mind. Choose from tees, tanks,
Stand by, 10
leggings,
seconds.
face masks, and home decor. Tired of those cookie cutter looks and boring styling options? The Diva Den can help you get your shine on. Visit us today at www.lisadene.com/divaden and tell them Stunner Radio sent you.
Welcome back to Black Coffee with a Side of Tea. We want to celebrate a new segment that we have, which we call We See You Sis. And this is where we celebrate the accomplishments and the efforts and the opportunities that many Black women that we have in our lives have experienced. And so we want to talk today about our Houston precinct chairwoman for precinct 559, Lachelle Scott. In this segment, we spotlight her. She is a member of Gamma Sigma Sigma National Service Sorority, as well as Zeta Phi Beta Sigma. Lachelle Scott is a lifelong Democrat who has been actively involved in the political process for many years. She has 6 years of experience working within the federal government, 3 years of political consulting experience, 6 years of experience managing political campaigns. In addition to that, she has served as voter deputy registrar and election judge. She is a Vote Run Lead alum, Ignite Scholarship and High School Facilitator for Texas, Black Collective PAC Fellow, and a member of the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats, Change the Game Fellowship recipient, and Virginia Leadership Institute Fellow. She holds both a criminal justice and business degree, as well as a master's degree in project management. According to Scott, she has long had political goals and felt now was the perfect time to see those goals become a reality. I ran for precinct chair 559 for myself, my party, and my state. I ran for precinct chair 559 because I believe it is the right thing to do and that now is the right time to do it. This country needs to see change implemented, and that change must start at local grassroots levels. And at what better place to start than precinct 559 of the great Lone Star State, stated Lachelle in a previous interview. As precinct chairwoman, Ms. Scott's goals are to advocate by addressing constituents' concerns with leaders and work together to find solutions. She also plans to educate constituents on the election process, on how to vote, where to vote, what's on the ballot, how to contact congressional leaders. She wants to educate constituents on how to get involved in becoming a poll worker, election judge, voter deputy registrar, etc. She wants to provide information on how to be delegates for conventions and district and state conventions. She wants to tell them how to become politically involved in groups and organizations. She also plans to motivate constituents to participate in community events and to interact with local businesses to foster community relationships, as well as engage business owners to participate in community-oriented events. For more information, please visit www.lachellescott, and that's LASHELLESCOTT.com. Miss Lachelle Scott, the ladies of Black Coffee with a Side of Tea wanted to let you know that we see you, sis. Thank you for your hard work advocating for the community and to keep the community educated and motivated. We see you, sis. So we'll be right back after this.
If you're looking for a keynote speaker for your next event, look no further than Miss Mimi of Mimi Speaks, specializing in panel discussions.
We'll play this ad and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
With the starting merchandise.
Miss Mimi brings her unique blend of experience and training to make a lasting impression on your guests and clients with powerful, engaging, thought-provoking topics and presentations. Miss Mimi will provide your guests with meaningful takeaways and life-changing revelations. Also available for red carpet interviews and premieres. Email us today at iammissmimi@gmail.com for booking information. That's IAMMYSSME@gmail.com.
Welcome back to Black Coffee with a Side of Tea. And we have had an incredible show. We've talked about so much. We've been here just kind of sister chatting it up. Yeah. And it's been so awesome. And we wanted to make sure that you all also have the opportunity to get inspired by these lovely ladies. So, sisters, we want to give them a little tea to go. So we want to share with them something that they can carry with them this week, or something that might just spark them right now in this moment. And so I wanted to make sure that my sisters who are on the thicker, lovelier side, that you know that you are beautiful, that you are loved. I have been listening to Amber, well, now she's Riley. But she was Amber Riley is her name, but she wrote a song called Big Girl Energy. She's a wonderful artist, and you've seen her in Glee and all kinds of stuff. But check that out. But it has just really inspired me because sometimes because of our physical stature, or because people tell us that we're not attractive because we're bigger, that we, hold our heads down and we feel like we have to be grateful for relationships and people's time. But you are everything, sis. You are all of that in a bag of chips. Eat them if you want to. I just want you to know that I see you, and I want you to feel encouraged and know that you are loved and lovable. And I am grateful to be your fluffy sis on the side. And let's rock out this world and show them what's possible for us. So that's my shout out for all the big girls. Rock your big girl energy.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
Well, I'm gonna say something for the men,
Okay.
the kings,
Okay.
because you guys, y'all work so hard every day. Y'all try so much. Y'all try to accomplish so much in the time that y'all do. And for that, I applaud you. I am here with you. I stand behind you. I stand in front of you. I stand on the side of you. Wherever you need me to be, I am here for you. So keep on rocking, keep on pushing, my Black kings.
All right.
All right, I want to talk to the goddesses out there, the females, the female energy, and I just want to encourage your spirit and let you know that unfortunately we have been put in a position where we feel like we may be somewhat inferior to this male-dominated world. Mm-hmm. But I just want to encourage your heart today and just get you to maybe imagine a different reality. And I want to share this real quick. I was praying and I decided to pray not to God the Father, but God the Mother.
Yes.
Now I know some of y'all gonna say,
Come
wait
on,
a minute.
I'm with you when you right.
Does not necessarily even have a
gender. Come
so
on.
You all like to push God the Father
Come on,
because y'all like us to feel like we're not as superior.
Yes.
But I believe that God has feminine energy, because who else can create and bring life but a woman? But a mother.
Preach this.
So I feel like God the Mother is shining down on me today.
Come on,
and I thank her for her grace and infinite wisdom and blessings in my life. And if God be willing, I will see you all again next week.
Oh, do y'all see why I love this lady? Lisa, woo, she's been dropped in my life for a reason. Huh. All right, y'all. So this is our show this week. I'm so grateful to have had this time with you. Thank you for tuning in today, and be sure to drop by the Black Coffee with a Side of Tea Facebook page to let us know that you were here and your thoughts. And we look forward to talking to you again next week. All right. Thank y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Are you enjoying the show? Really glad to hear it. Show your love for your favorite coffee mugs and more. Visit our store at www.sunradio.com.
Do you still want mine, or you think you need some? Do you think you got yours? Okay. What were you about to say?
Halfway through,
and then we're done.
Okay. Radio is the heart and soul of the culture.
So do you want to unplug over there?
A mainstream urban AC.